Right? And I'm not playing no games. Yeah.
Booyah! What on earth is going on, folks? Holy cow. I did not see this until just now. And this, holy cow, Warner Brothers dropped the bomb. It leaked on Slash Film, which I had it in my feed and just didn't see it. And the WBD is wanting to cut $2 to $2.5 billion, and this is saying that their debt has gone from 43 at the time of their merger to approximately 57. 57. They lost $3.4 billion. Those are B's in the first quarter after the merger. So that means they were leaking and bleeding so much cash that even after the merger, it is flooding it out that they have lost almost 10% of their value of their purchase price since they bought it in just one quarter. So that means they're losing almost $1 billion a month. Wow. Holy cow. So, yeah, this is crazy. It's a better thumbnail, by the way. I could use that one, just setting the money on fire. So I originally had this Bounty in a Comics article pulled up here. And it starts by saying Batgirl was only the beginning. Remember that hoopla and the outrage and the chaos over, what, $90 million? This is billions of dollars. So, yeah, I thought instead of trying to throw together a video or whatever, Ryan is here. Hey, Ryan, can you believe the amount of money? Holy crap. Billion. I mean, do the math. They're losing approximately $1 billion a month. This is an insane situation that, I mean, the amount of people that lost their mind and read to the sky and were freaking out over Batgirl, which is basically just this piddly piece of crap film that they would have had to spend more money to maybe break even. And they're like, no, we're just walking away from that. I don't know about you guys, but is there a chance that some other of these big projects that are already moved along are going to be done? I don't know. This says that they want to cut their $2.5 billion. The company is looking at, quote, an impairment and development of write-offs for more movies and TV shows to bolster financials and pare down the debt inherited from the $43 billion price tag of the merger. And it goes on to say the amount of debt, by the way, $57 billion, and that's magnified by extra billions, exemplified by the 3.4 loss in the first quarter after the merger was official. They are hemorrhaging money. Holy cow. Quote, as part of its plan to achieve significant cost synergies in Q3 2022, the company finalized the framework supporting its ongoing restructuring and transformation initiatives, which will include, among other things, strategic content programming assessments, organization restructuring, facility consolidation activities, and other contract termination costs, the document explains. Wow. We will translate that. Holy crap. Bifer, hey there, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Ryan, this is insane, Ryan. Can you believe we're talking about billions of dollars? Holy cow. So let's dive into this paragraph for a second. So it's supporting ongoing restructuring and transformation initiatives. In other words, we're going to restructure the company, whatever. Now, this will include amongst it. Ready? Strategic content programming assessments. Everything will be put on the table. How much money has been spent? How much? What are our obligations? What is the cost analysis? What's the return on investment? If you think things were on the chopping block before, they are now. Organization restructuring, which is a fancy word for firing a whole bunch of fruitcakes, right? You got all these nut jobs taking up space, living on fat salaries, not contributing anything that's bringing the company value. Done. Facility consolidation activities. Well, you thought you worked here? We're shutting that office down. Close this down. We know they closed offices here. They're going to close other offices. You got people working from home. And then, quote, other contract termination costs. In other words, what does it cost me to fire that person? Wow. This is not like gray. This is liquidate, fire people, and yep, Shield, thanks, man. Go woke, go broke, and the WB is on fire right now. $1 billion. I think we all knew it was bad. And I knew with the buyout, you know, the big $43 billion is a lot of money. I knew they weren't making a lot of money. But holy cow. That's it. Basically, do the math. Since the merger, they have now racked up, you know, $3.4 billion in a quarter. They've gone from $43 billion at the that they paid, and now they owe $57. So they're actually $14 billion more in debt. That's like 25%, right? Am I doing my math right? You guys, hang on. Divided by 43. Yeah, 30%. Their debt is like, this is an insane amount of money. Holy cow. Okay. And it just basically says strategic content is assessment has to do more like shows, what shows will be on the chopping block. Let's see. There's also a lot of organizational restructuring costs like severance pays, retention, relocation. 800 million to 1.1 billion, and facility consolidation activities and contract terminations, which is another 400 million to 700 million. If there's a way to buy people out, buying them out. Wow. There's Jim. He has to be on the chopping block. But this doesn't have to do as much with Jim. This doesn't have to do with the comic book side. We're only talking about wording of that is more like Warner Brother Media. It's more like that kind of stuff. So get rid of this screen and pull up the actual Slash film. I'm just the one, give them credit. They actually are the ones that went and pulled the document. So anyway. Yeah, Bifer. That's a great callback to my movie review today. All quiet on the Warner Brothers movie front. No, it is not quiet, brother. It is a blood bath. It is quiet because no one wants to put their head above the cubicle wall. No one wants to be in the firing range. And yeah, brother, Warner Brothers is full of G4 Frost employees. And I would not want to go into work and have green, purple, red, pink hair right now. If that's you at Warner Brothers, man, you need to go to your local CVS, Walgreens, buy some hair dye, get a nice outfit, and you need to lay low, ramp up some freaking work right now because, yeah, Shield Dragon, fancy word for you're fired, get out. Holy cow. Yes. They might have to asset strip to stay afloat. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how liquid all of this stuff. Like, it's okay, like, you know, you're floating cash, but at some point, you're talking about $1 billion a month. Like, what is the revenue streams? Because as I said with the comic book side, I have hope with the comic book side because once the attention is on this, you are going to see a purge and a stop like you should see. Like, that's what I said I would do. I would go in and we would just stop everything. Now, I know certain things are already in the works. You're talking about months out, but it would be restructure everything. And I said the only reason I would even have an ounce of hope was because I read the new Batman and it wasn't awful and it wasn't woke. And by the way, Ryan, thank you for that. And thank you for being a member, by the way. We scheduled our first member stream, which will be next Wednesday, just about this time. Well, it'll be about 5 o'clock this time. So it'll be about 20, so we'll be hanging out. I know Ryan will be here. He'll stop by at least. So Austin went and stopped watching CW 4 or 5 years ago when they started to say, they started to be soy and haven't bought a DC comic in 7 years. No, don't buy them. Don't. Look, here's the thing. I'm going to start doing videos. My first one will drop tomorrow. It's called Good Read, Great Read, Don't Read. Right? So if you want me to do a certain comic book, that's what I'm going to do. My first one's Wolverine, where I'm going to tell you this one is a good read. This is not great read. Sorry, must read. A must read. So if you're a fan or a fan of that character, you have to read this series or issue, and then don't even bother. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try to also steer you towards ways that you can consume some comics or enjoy the industry that won't not only bankrupt you, or at least will, and then how do I do this? Like, I don't want to deal with modern stuff. So anyway, let's see. Either that or actually be good at their job without an attitude. Well, good luck with that, because people don't change that fast, right? All right, let me get to this Slash. I want to see what Slash Film might be presenting, because if they pulled the actual documents, Bounding into Comics might only be quoting from pieces of it, which, by the way, I might have to change my thumbnail, because look at that. I forgot about the Joker shot. That's great. Change my thumbnail to that, because that's exactly what's happening today right now. Holy cow. Okay, let's see. This is just bloodbath stuff with Zaslav, filing with the CDC. They mentioned the Batgirl thing as well. They quote the $43 billion. And they have that other breaking down some numbers. Okay, so they broke down some numbers. Here we go. All right, so chipping away at a massive 57 billion, give or take, debt pile. WBD lost 3.4 billion in its first quarter after the merger. That's just simply unsustainable. No duh. So the SEC filing is looking to cut 3.4 to 4.3 billion in post-merger restructuring costs. So they're going to try to write that down. So that means they're going to show even a bigger loss in the when they do that, because it's going to be whatever money they're losing, plus they're going to have this massive write down. So they're going to show even a bigger loss than that 3.4. So some of this money lost is going to be like write down stuff, money that's already been spent that was wrapped up in that merger. So, okay, let's see. This was pretty much the same thing that Bounding had said. The biggest question is what movies or TV shows or possibly entire networks. That is interesting. Let's open that in a tab. Look at that. Well, it's uncertain. It's a mess. Let's see. While the companies expect to see substantial. Okay, so while the company's restructuring efforts are ongoing, including strategic analysis for content programming, which could result in additional impairments above the estimate provided above, the restructuring initiatives are expected to be substantially completed by the end of 2024. Holy crap! You got 2 more years of trying to figure this out. Oh my gosh! Anyway, tomorrow is. Oh. Yeah, so we should be having earnings reports and stuff like that. So even more documents are going to come forth any day now, because they're doing their quarterly. So that's why this stuff leaked out. They have to file this stuff with the SEC, and that's what got some of this stuff public. So, reference. I'll come back to that. Let's see what else you guys are saying in chat. That picture encapsulates Hollywood in the last 5 years. Yeah, it's funny you said, because I used that first one I saw, and I realized now in hindsight that Joker one with the money, man, that's a great photo. I need to make sure I have that in my sort of like saved in my library, because you're absolutely right. Yeah, so let's see here. They see if there's anything in this one. I will share it with you guys so you can kind of follow along with what I'm seeing. I'm still just, I got to be honest, guys. I mean, everybody's talked about it. I know you've been Skyver talking about the comic side with the Batgirl stuff and some of the animation stuff we've talked about. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. So this is a history of some of the stuff. The early days. This is like a history how HBO Max is recreating the problem Cartoon Network was created to solve. Well, that doesn't necessarily help, but maybe it's just because they're talking about that some of this stuff is just too expensive to maintain. I don't know, because none of this stuff is remotely interesting for me to talk about. I don't care about. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, so from the stuff that's in the process of being done list, I'm such a nerd. I have this on my phone. So let me see what I have on my phone that we can look at to see what you guys think. To me, the obvious one that seems like a no-go would be how much is the write-off for doing Blue Beetle? Now, again, some of you might be fans of Blue Beetle. You're like, oh, Pops, come on. You want to see Blue Beetle, right? Blue Beetle doesn't sound like a terrible idea. Well, here's the thing. It's not the Blue Beetle that I grew up with. It's the new Blue Beetle. It's this new, I think he's a gay Hispanic guy, this Blue Beetle. Like was created in the comic books, and that's what we got. So, yeah. All right, so Warner released all 2021 movies simultaneously on Max. It was a huge disaster. Yeah, and they just panicked. They need, but again, this is the people that were running this company in the ground. This wasn't Zaslav, and I haven't had this reaction with anything since the merger, but I had it with two. Like whenever you watch certain movies now, you have to ask yourself, well, why did you not release this in theaters? So, for instance, for me, Disney owns or at least controls efforts on their Fox side with Prey and Hellraiser. They did those reboots. Now, I'm not trying to say I was a big fan of them or that they were great. They were both, well, Prey was mediocre at best. Hellraiser was, I didn't like it, but there is no way to believe when you look at Halloween and how well that movie did and things like that. These movies could have easily brought in between the two of them at least 100 and 150, $200 million, and probably globally more than that. So it's silly to me to believe these companies are just sitting around making these awful decisions. It's like you just have morons. So with something like this, I think Warner is indeed paying the price for what you're saying, Bifer, because a lot of cash did not come in because they put stuff out on that app first. And I'm just as guilty. I was waiting for I'm still just as guilty. There's tons of stuff that I'm not seeing in theaters. I'm not doing screenings like I was. I still get press release invites. I still get all that stuff. And you know what? It's always on like a Monday night or a Tuesday night. I'm here with you guys. I'm not doing that. Dean Krantz, hey there, my brother. I don't know what you guys think about all this. Can you believe Warner is losing approximately $1 billion a month? That's kind of where we're at. That's how much it is. So releasing the Snyder Cut was a money pit. I think it gave them some PR and it got people watching a lot of stuff on their service. And since that's not really a dollar for dollar transfer, I'm not sure how to quantify that. So I don't disagree with you. I'm not a huge fan of the Snyder work, not just his one film. So no, Shield. Well, I totally understand that Prey's not very good. I'm not. And I haven't seen Hellraiser. Listen, you can watch my reviews and you can decide if you want to sit through it or not. I think they were both woke. I don't think they're not insanely unwatchable compared to other things that have gone woke, but we're not going to pretend that they're not. But I think for a theatrical experience, Predator was actually like, I could sit through it in a theater and be all right. Hey, Greg, good morning from Japan. Greg, I don't know if you've seen this. We were covering the fact that, Warner is filing their financial documents, and in there, they're looking to write off billions of dollars. Last quarter, since the merger, they lost $3.4 billion with a B dollars. So that means they are approximately losing $1 billion a month. That is an insane amount of money. This is crazy. I can go through these quotes again. I can pull it back up again if you want me to read some of this language that's in here. But it is very clear. This is a fancy language for we're going to fire people. We are going to find out how much it costs to buy out of contracts. We are going to close facilities, and we are going to be killing projects. So let's ask questions. What's some of the things that is safe and what is not? So what is safe? Well, the new stuff that's been announced or is moving would be like the Batman villain stuff. So this is stuff that's probably going on Max. It's probably not part of theatrical stuff. So it's TV production stuff. It's lower cost stuff, content for Max. So the Penguin stuff moved forward recently because they cast Sophia Falcone. You have Professor Pig that's been talked about with Matt Reeves. This is all stuff that's coming out of the Batman part of things. There is there's an adaptation. There's at least talk about doing something with the soy boy, gay looking Aquaman nonsense. Oh, I don't have it. Do I have a mod that can help me knock that crap out? I don't even have. Hang on, let me figure that out while we're talking about this. I will say whatever that project is, that's dead in the water because I don't think it's gone anywhere yet. I think that stuff predates the merger. So you're going to see the coming from all of the crazy heads, because there's no chance that I think that they're going to be wanting to move forward with that. That's definitely with what we see now with the move that they have made with Henry Cavill and Superman. Yeah, I know I'm trying to get to it, Zach. I apologize. Bear with me, man. I'm trying to open Windows and talk and check my phone for other stuff, so I'm getting there. Let's see here. Probably would just been easier to add a moderator. Look at that. I can do that. Let's do that. How do I? Oh no, wait. No, I don't want to do that. Remove. Okay, hang on. Okay, Zach, I'm going to add you as a moderator if you could help me out with some of that, bro. I appreciate it so much, my friend. And thank you for being a member. I should make all my members mods at this point. I'm not a big fan of having a ton of mods, but this is why you need them, because whenever you just hop on and do something crazy, next thing you know, you have the porn bots showing up, and next thing you know, you can't keep up. So anyway, long story short, Warner Brothers basically having to disclose financial documents in the middle of their quarterly report. /Film reported it. I didn't see it till Bounty Comics. Literally saw it at like 4:15 my time. So I saw it like a half hour ago, and I'm like, man, I could do a video or I could chat with you guys about this, because this is crazy to think about $1 billion a month. That is a lot of money you have to cut out of your system. You know what I mean? Like, that's, holy cow, it's a lot of money. So let me get back into chat and figure out where you guys are on things. Oh, hey, Left Eye Ego's here. Hey, man. Am I on top of things? I got to be honest. I try to stay reasonably on top of things. You'll see my community tab. I try to post a lot of sort of like news stories. Haven't really been doing videos on them as much. And a lot of times it happens where I have stuff planned for that day or evening, so I'm not even going to be able to do a video. So I'll post it on my community tab. And if you're a member, you get a little bit more of that. And that's my goal, is to try to give folks more of that kind of, I want to say, early reports or insider stuff. Some of the comic book stuff, I'm probably more insider than other folks would be, because that's like my wheelhouse. So let me get back to some of the other projects. There was all sorts of crazy talks of, the Lady Gaga Joker sequel stuff. I don't know where that is. I could see that being delayed a little bit till they kind of sort some of this stuff out. The Batman sequel itself might get delayed. They might be revisiting where they're at on some of that kind of stuff. I could see that making sense. Zaslav has been talking about this for months. Hey, thank you so much. The word is that he is only willing to fund 4 superhero movies over the next 10 years. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and one other. Oh, wow. That's disappointing to hear. Wow. Well, you know what? If you don't have the cash, you've got to figure something out. They either have to kind of cool their jets and refocus on what can make them money, or they're going to have to farm something out. That's really it. That's the only options that they have. So, that sucks as a fan, because you want to see. I have long said, kind of, we've talked about some of the general ideas I have. I sound like Loki. I sound like many other people talking about things like a World Finest comic book or the Trinity, talking about how I would direct Batman, maybe even look at Batman Beyond, things like that. But yeah, it's a tough situation. What do you do? When you talk about bleeding this much money so rapidly, it's just insane. It's really hard. So let me see here. Oh, look at that. I got a new member. Thank you so much, Jedi Bill. Holy cow. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you joining the Chill Squad, being part of investing your hard-earned money in my life, and doing this and communicating with you. Also know, Jedi Bill, there is a members only stream. Yeah, it'll start at about 5 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. So feel free to join my first live stream. You'd be able to be part of that. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, whether it be movie, TV, comic books, nerd stuff. Who knows? But yeah, this is breaking news today. I hadn't seen it. I know a lot of folks hadn't talked about it, but got on here and just thought I would do it. So yeah, Shield Wall of Dragons. Losing that much money so fast is like driving up to work and the building's on fire. Upper management can't hide the problems any longer, and they'll either do something or go out of business. Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing, Shield Wall. they inherited this. They bought this mess, right? They paid 43. This is what makes this so fascinating, right? They bought for the $43 billion, and now they're upside down 14 more. So that means they're upside down 57. They're losing 3.4 billion in a quarter. So that's approximately $1 billion a month, plus or minus, because some of this stuff is money that's long gone. That's part of that initial cash. It's not going to be new losses per se. They're new write-downs. They're just going to the SEC wanting to write down even more, speeding along the purge and cleaning all this up. So that's where that came from. Oh my gosh, thank you, my friend. Another new member. Holy cow, you guys are so good to me. This is crazy. Thank you so much. Let me go back into the YouTube side. Also a member of the Chill Squad. Thank you, my friends. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys so much for, like I said, investing your hard-earned money into the channel and what we want to do. That's incredible. So before we get too much further, let me play a little clip for you guys and say, hey, let's do the whole Bob Ross chill. I usually use this as my outro, but let me give you the whole dose. So and I'll tell you guys a story for those of you that might be new. Here you go.
All I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross. I be too calm for the drama. You don't want to cause a problem, I'll solve it, Bob Ross.
All right, so there it is. There's the Bob Ross chill. It's usually my outro. That's for you joining the Chill Squad, you folks that are doing that. If you don't know who Bob Ross is, he is this famous artist that rose to fame back when I was young on like public access. He had like a half hour to hour public access shows. It was all about painting. He spoke in this very quiet, methodical thing, and sometimes he would talk about life lessons and the joy of paint. It's called the joy of painting, and I know when this stuff broke to like Netflix, I had this stuff on like all the time. It was like my ASMR. I could fall asleep to it. It could just be on. I'm a massive fan, and that's why it's there. So welcome to the Chill Squad and part of this channel. I appreciate it so much. So let me see if I missed anything. Oh, I think that Warner will axe DC Comics next, retain the IP rights, but lease out the heroes and get out of paying for useless people. You know what, Dean? I've said that's what's coming. No, and just for the record, none of what was in these reports have anything to do with the comic books. Everything, I want to make sure I have the right quote, but everything has to do with the entertainment side, like the digital side, the TV and movie side, not the comic books themselves. And I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's totally plausible to see them to get so financially strapped, and they really don't care about the past. You have to remember that Zaslav and WBD, they don't care about the politics and the drama and the backbiting. And can you imagine the on the internet if someone who's made enough money as Ethan Van Sciver has, and he can get the money together to license doing something like Green Lantern or Flash, or really his passion project has been doing like Plastic Man or something he probably could get cheaper, because who cares about Plastic Man? They won't. But he will, and he'll do an amazing job if he even wants to deal with that. I don't know why he wouldn't if he can make a buck. So I can't agree more. That's not on the table yet, and I think it's mostly because that's small potatoes money. It's just small potatoes money. But when I said this recently too. Whenever they are in the crosshairs of Zaslav, DC Comics is going to go up in flames. You are going to see insane things happen. So, holy cow, you guys are like blowing up. Gray, oh my gosh, my brother, thank you so much. Also joined the Chill Squad all the way from Japan. Oh, I can't wait to tell my wife. I got members in the UK and Japan or whatever. Man, thank you so much. And this has just been crazy. And again, take note, next Wednesday we're doing a member stream. The people that are in the higher tiers, they do get reserved spots first. We have room though. We're rotate people in and doing that kind of stuff. But thank you so much for being a member and investing in me and the channel. And Gray, in particular, you have been a part of this from the early phases, man, talking comic book stuff with me, my friend. So it'll be on your channel next. We gotta hit me up and schedule that. So, and Jedi Bill, it is my pleasure. But thank you so much. It is my pleasure. Thank you so much. So let's see. Let me scroll back up here, see what I may or may not have missed, and we can kind of react. So Zach has a moderator army. Sometimes there's over like 30 mods in his chat. Spam has no chance. Yeah, no, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. Yeah. See that. What should I say? You got to tell me how to say your name, man. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. I'm going to mess it up. So I don't want to butcher it any more than I already do. So bear with me. Is Zach's live and multitasking? Probably. Zach's is beast mode. He is beasto. He is just, that's all it is. So let's see. Let's going through. Okay. So Shield Wall says, losing that much money so fast is like dry. Okay, we saw that. I got that one. Good. Okay, Jedi Bill. Discovery has, okay. So the market cap is 12 billion. Total revenue so far in 2022 is about 11.8 against the 57. Yeah, because the debt has risen so fast that, I mean, they're upside down. So much cash. Holy cow. Talk about a stock that's going to be like an AMC stock or something at some point, guys, because that's going to be crazy. It's going to be shorted to the moon. Rest in peace, Ezra Miller Flash franchise. We'll see. That was one of the 3 or 4 that they were talking about still moving. We've heard from certain creators even that have connections that it wasn't terrible. I have said that the easiest way to get out of the Ezra Miller is make a few reshoots, even an end scene or something like that, and just kill Barry Allen. Crisis on Infinite Earths, Barry Allen dies. It's not that hard if you still want to go down that avenue. So, this was a debacle, Bifer. Oh my gosh. I wasn't doing videos. This was either one of my hiatuses, either when we were moving. I forget exactly when it released. I think I dabbled or touched on it in something we were talking about at one point. My goodness, this was unbearably bad. Unbearably bad. I could not handle. And the original Space Jam is really a guilty pleasure. And I didn't realize how much my boys loved it until they were older. And out of the blue, they wanted to watch it. So a very good Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman movie could turn things around for them. One movie could turn things around because you have to understand how much merchandise can be brought in, how much money can be done. No, I think this is why banking on the Henry Cavill move is because you have to understand, this is where I think Zaslav is a genius. He understands that the PR is so important, right? He understands having this many creators and this many fans buzzing about Henry is exactly what you need to at least change the impression, even though Warner is got in a very negative state and has plenty of things that we can all complain about. It gives us some hope, right? Bob Ross is on YouTube and Twitch. Well, I don't deal with Twitch, but yeah, I've seen several. I've watched a few on YouTube. Yeah, awesome one. I love Bob, and again, this. I've said this recently too. I don't know about you guys, but it was like he's a content creator. Before there were content creators, Bob was a content creator. He's an independent entrepreneur doing what he loved to do. And you know who another one really was? And that's Mr. Rogers. Fred was really a pioneer in this concept of doing that. So Cannoli Scotch Watch is here. Hey there, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. If it keeps like this, Pops, you can retire early. I could only wish. Trust me, I won't be retiring, Ryan. This is what I would want to do. Like you guys are already making this happen because I'm spending my time basically running my comic book shop. I'm literally like, I started a new concept for the videos of dealing with the comics and stuff like that, talk about movies with you guys, that kind of thing. The fact that you guys would want to, help make that more and more possible for me, figure out ways to invest into, the services and the computer and all of that. Look at me, I need a haircut. You can use your money, go buy a haircut. I'm a freaking mess. I came right from work, sat down and did this. I am a mess. I'm going to be on with Megan Lee later. I got to definitely look a little better than this. So, they basically gave away WB. HBO Max has a lot of stinkers in their catalog. Peacemaker is weighed down by Titans and Swamp Thing. Yeah, well, I'm not even a huge fan of Peacemaker. It's okay. I didn't last very long in Titans at all. And I was just talking to Joker Voice about that because he's going to do a watch through and review, I assume, on the new season. And I did not watch any of Swamp Thing yet. So I don't know, Dean, but from your tone, I'm assuming you've watched them and do not like them. I didn't care for Peacemaker too much. It was just okay to me. So there was a guy because I thought maybe, let me go back, Dean. I don't, they basically gave away you mean the WB, the channel, the CW, right? The CW channel, the actual network part. Yeah. There was a guy who worked for Tug on Rob's Bancroft's friend who says he's working on a website for CG and other independent creators so we can have a place to share our ideas without being hidden. Okay, very cool. Everything has to have infrastructure, right? I think that this is the first phase of independent comics because we've always had independent comics, but independent comics was the hardest thing was distribution, right? Could you get them made and figure out how to sell them? So the most expensive part, and I know these creators are totally taking their lumps for it, but as someone that tries to unload some stuff through eBays and things like that, the shipping is a killer. It is insane how expensive everything costs. So the cheapest way to do it would be they have special cardboard. I don't have one that was in reach, but it's a cardboard mailer. It's a Gemini box, and it folds in on itself to protect your comic book, and you can send it media mail. Now, most of them don't want to send it media mail because it takes longer, and it's obviously being thrown around with other books and stuff. But that is the cheapest way to do it. Okay, and you can secure it inside there well. I'm not sure they're all as big of comic book nerds as this guy who knows how to pack and secure things. But to know that there's a website and a way to make all of this coalesce and come together, I've thought about trying to ramp my eBay store part of it up by buying a few extra copies and things like that. But I would need more capital to do that. That way I would be able to buy them from the campaign and then have them and then ship them out and sell them accordingly, make a few bucks. I wouldn't want to make a big profit, but even if I made a couple dollars to keep the store running, at least it would be an opportunity to reach more customers that may not knew about the campaign or find about it later. So, hey, Princess Leia Rose. Unfortunately, according to the Inquisition, Lola Bunny was a catalyst for the furry movement. No one likes furry. Oh, Dean, killing me. Princess Leia Rose will be on with me Thursday. We're going to be talking about Star Wars spirituality. We're going to talk about like the aspects of religion and some of that kind of stuff. So that join us here on Thursday. We'll be talking about that. That is the 10th. That will be at 6 p.m. We'll talk to Princess Leia Rose. Can't wait to have her with me. Let's see. You guys are chatting about all sorts of things. Blah, blah, blah. Looking forward to your episode. Okay. Dean says, excuse me. Did not like Peacemaker either. The only show on HBO I have not disliked was Doom Patrol. I like season 1. I didn't watch anything else yet, and it's just a lack of time. But that's good to know. I didn't hate Peacemaker. It just was not very good. It was just like, okay. And Jedi Bill with a $3 super chat. Thank you, my brother. You are awesome, brother warrior. Oh, man, you are too, man. Jedi Bill, the problem is Jedi is, I don't know about you, Bill, but you just get so busy. You can start building your routine, your schedule. I have such a very small window where I can stream. It's hard because I always want to connect with more people. I feel bad not circling back and bringing more people back in the loop. And Bill and I just haven't been able to coordinate that. But I would love to sometime, Bill. We'd have to figure that out. So for me, I like when I have a super chat or a member. For those of you that are new, understand how I approach it. I always like try to find a way to make sure that people take a laugh, right? So take a pause and take a laugh. Fortunately, we're having something we don't have to take too seriously. So put a smile on your face. So let's try one like this.
Looks like it's going to be a 2-on-1, a menage a trois of pain.
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
Well, there you go, Bill. Hopefully put a smile on your face because right now the Warner Brother, they are paying double for that kind of action. I assure you. And it is something brutal. It is something brutal. I got bots back, so I'm sitting here trying to knock out some bots as well. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. It took, let me get back up here. I'm sorry. Warner Brothers damage already done to the Harry Potter fan base. Do you think so? You think so? I think that's just SJW nonsense. So I'm going to just tell you that my finger on the pulse is that the Harry Potter people, and the normies definitely not. The normies could care absolutely less about all this drama. In fact, I got to be honest, if any of them were to hear what the drama was about, they're going to roll their eyes and just don't care. I think the problem with the Harry Potter franchise is they pin themselves in to say we're doing these books, which equate to these movies. And then when they're over, you just don't care as much. So for me, I could never really connect to these prequel movies I didn't care about the cast as much. It just didn't get me. And that's just me. But I can tell you, and I've been to the Universal Studios Harry Potter Land, which is amazing. My wife has not read one word of any of the books, and she stopped in her tracks and was like, whoa, it's that good. It's so amazing. That place is lit up. Every minute that I've ever been there, that place is completely insane. So I'm just going to say, I think that they need to figure out how to make some money on Harry Potter. And I'm shocked there's not a decent, well, again, I'm happy it's not happening right now because they're all SJWs. But again, I'm in charge. I have DC Comics. You clean the slate, you bring in good creators, and you find a Harry Potter person and figure out fantasy content, expand your Harry Potter universe, start inventing some new characters, work with her on how to navigate that franchise. That's it. Put all this SJW nonsense behind. That's what I would do. So, used to be a good comic industry, indie comic market, but then DC started distributing their own comics and Marvel bought Diamond. So a lot of indies died in the early 90s. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, yeah. And you know, DC bought chunks of it, right? So they kind of own like Wildcats and Wetworks or whatever. But there's always going to be some indie work. And some of it, to be honest, it was just the boom of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Some people made it, some people didn't. And I don't think there's been that kind of the desire to make comics become more like I always make references to the Berkeley Art School thing, right? I always make those references to it's only those people that like that were the ones that were still pursuing that. And a lot of the other people had already made it, and it was just less. And I think that's why we haven't had a new version. And now we're sitting some of it where people are finally topping back in and, getting to it. So let me see. Did I miss any? I got all the spam. If not, let me know. Let's see. Okay, it took almost the very end for me to like Peacemaker. I like the team dynamics at the end. I think there were definitely elements that were coming together. Again, these shows are drawn out so much. It's like they need to go back to more traditional television storytelling, so we're not actually being duped where we're being told that it is a TV series or that type of storytelling, but it's basically a 6 or 8 or a 10-hour movie. That is totally unacceptable. Those are two different ways to tell a story, and you can tell. And this is one of the reasons that Disney is failing just very badly at everything they're trying, because it is not the same thing to say, I'm making a TV series, episodes that string together, so maybe some big overarching stories, those kinds of things, versus I'm going to write a 6-hour movie or an 8-hour movie. And that's what this crap is. It is absurd to me that the main characters are so irrelevant in their 6 or 8-hour movie. And that's what they are. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. It's just this is, most of it is crap. So I read the first Harry Potter book to one of my nephews. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, my daughter was one of my daughters was a massive Harry Potter reader and fan. And so now I think there were 2 or 3 that kind of got into it. And I know my daughter-in-law, she's really into reading them and enjoying it, that kind of thing. So, all right. So do you think there's a way for Warner to shed the SJW crowd in its ranks? If they can, how do they attract a J.K. Rowling to advise on a comic book? So, well, when they turn their sights on the comic book side, they're going to have to get rid of some of that kind of stuff. They're just going to have to build it up from the ground up. Right. And actually, to be honest, Dean, I don't want to be cruel to people, but they just need to be fired. And once that starts happening and people see the writing on the wall, like if you've ever been at a job where you see layoffs are coming, you see some cuts that are being done. I remember at a company I was working for, we were told there was no money. They held a special meeting. Our bonuses were going to be frozen for salaries are going to be frozen for a year and a half. It was like the beginning of one year to be all of the rest of this year, and then the following year salaries will be frozen. There will be no bonuses, whatever. And then what they did was, instead of doing that, because they knew they would just lose a bunch of people, they bribed you by increasing the amount of time off that you could get. Right. So based on your seniority that you were there, you would have an increased amount of time off. Once word got out, you had people ramping up their production because they didn't want to get cut. Now, you also had a group of people that went and looked for other jobs. These comic book creators have nowhere else to go except for indie. Well, good luck to them, because most of the ones you're talking about completely suck. They're terrible. And I got to be honest, I think Zaslav will show through his actions that he's serious about creating content that is not catering to the purple hair weirdos. And that when you do that, then she can see that, you're playing amongst people that are on your side. If she was in my meeting, that's what I would say. I would say, listen, I respect your work. I'm a huge fan. My kids are fans. I don't want this franchise to cool off. I want to ramp it up. I want to create new stuff. Maybe there'll be a way we can get to a movie at some point. That's not on our radar screen. Let's focus on anniversary releases in theaters for these things. Let's focus on cool, Blu-ray, 4K, Criterion type quality material that can be released, and then expand the universe through comic books. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to hire, do you have writers in mind? Because I got to be honest, I'd call someone like Dan Lawless to draw it. He is a massively talented, he really wants to draw Conan. But if I knew that I could trust someone like that to get into the fantasy arena and draw that type of artwork, call the Frazettas and say, listen, can you guys do an alternate cover? Can you imagine Frazetta scale cover art for a Harry Potter comic book? That would be so epic. There's so many cool creatures that could be brought to life. So I don't know, Dean, I know I talk crazy. It's all fan fiction. It's all speculation. We're talking about a company, and you're right, because you're talking about a company that's billions of dollars in debt, bleeding money, basically putting out there in public record that we're going to fire a bunch of you people. We're going to close locations. We're going to cancel movies and TV shows. And I'm over here talking about how to make comic books with J.K. Rowling. So this stream has derailed completely to where we started. So yeah, that's my pitch. You guys tell me I'm right or I'm crazy. I don't know. Okay, Shield Wall Dragons, man. Thank you again so much, man. It's been awesome. Thank you again. So, important to remember that J.K. Rowling is an actual woke. She belongs to a branch of feminism that opposes the erasure of biological sex. No, I agree. She's I just don't think she's third wave feminist, right? I think she's typical liberal / leftist. I think that she doesn't like the concept, especially because it's happened to her, the concept of destroying someone's livelihood, right? So I agree with you, and I don't know that she would, but I don't think she would want her stuff completely radically changed. I think that even if she thinks, because I always use Harry Potter as one of my examples for people who don't understand why I'm so upset at. I'm not calling Sam Wilson Captain America. Sam Wilson is Falcon. I'm sorry. He's not Captain America. He can fill in for Cap for some sort of situation, but he is not Captain America. Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. He's called Miles Morales for a reason. No one calls him Spider-Man, except for really, really young people who don't even understand that his entire story is nothing but a cheap ripoff of the original Peter Parker story. Anyway, you go through examples with what's happened on Disney Plus and other things. Why are you mad? Why do you care so much, Pops? Why are you so bent out of shape? I don't understand. So it's fine. I know you're a Harry Potter fan, right? Yeah. Okay. So what if they did a remake of Harry Potter tomorrow, and it is they hired a little black boy as the lead with a transgender girl that was really a boy, Herman or something. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's a Hispanic Ron. They're not, instead of being redheads or something else, like the entire crucial elements of who these characters would be radically changed, and it wakes them up. I think J.K. Rowling has seen a dose of that. And even though I do think she's lefty liberal, I don't think she wants to be as woke or far SJW as many of the purple haired weirdos are. So, and Dean, hey man, isn't this the best part of doing this? Is that we can just like randomly throw things out there. So let's see. Yeah, she's a UK lefty. Margaret Thatcher, Kathleen Kennedy. Wow. That is a very big spectrum. Margaret Thatcher to Kathleen Kennedy, Dean. Thank you so much for that. So, all right. Well, I think I'm caught up. My gosh. Thank you to you people becoming members. This has been crazy. I've been on here for almost 45 minutes. Oh, almost an hour. Holy cow. Let me tell you this though. I am blown away about the money. I mean, I think we all know they paid $43 billion. You knew they were broke. You knew they were upside down. But if they're only bringing in, let's just round it to about 12 billion, well, let's say 15, and they're losing 3 a quarter. I mean, you can't go from 43 to 57 billion in debt. I mean, you're spiraling so fast. Yeah, I don't know. I got derailed because I was originally giving you guys some original content because I was actually talking about the stuff that's in production or that has been talked about, what I think will be canceled. I talked about Blue Beetle. I think is on the block. I don't think some of these new things are. Some sort of Justice League and WRBY thing. I don't know what that is. It's a newer comic book that's from last year. Dead. Animated crossover between JLA and RWBY. I have it like as a question mark. I didn't even look it up yet. So if it doesn't even matter that much to me to look it up, I don't think it's going to be on their radar screen. So let's see. This is Flash stuff, which we've talked about briefly as being on the fence. I think the Penguin stuff moves forward, but that's HBO Max direct. That's not big expensive stuff. And I think that the fact that they're doing Batman spin-offs of villains, because it's more like Gotham. Like I think we're going to see an HBO Max of Gotham focusing on different ones. And Penguin's an easy one. The rise of Penguin becoming what we saw in the Batman of being like the underboss to becoming, you know, this violent criminal that Batman can't pin things on. I think that's great. Let's see. Black Superman is dead. If it's not already dead, it'll be dead. Everything that involves Booster Gold, dead. No one cares about Booster Gold. Again, I'm speaking as a nerd that loves this stuff. I'm just talking about it as a general thing. I'm Zaslav, and I got to make money on it. Just giving you my thoughts. Not, please don't take these as an opinion that I hate Booster Gold, because there are some good Booster Gold stuff out there. So, yeah, Val-Zod's dead. That's not happening. They could say this stuff's, yeah, that's Val-Zod is the Black Superman Kryptonian Michael B. Jordan project. Unless there's money, no, I'm sorry, I'm retracting that. That project's dead. Project's dead. There has been some talks about HBO Max content regarding like Dead Boy Detectives and Sandman and stuff like that. As long as the rights issues are clean and there's no money that has to be spent, that's possible. Again, it's HBO content. A Black Canary project's being developed. Dead. Let's see. This is yeah, I see other weird things they're talking about. I think Zatanna has already been announced as being dead. It's definitely dead. Yeah, the Blue Beetle thing has got to be dead. Icon. Oh no, that's long dead. There's no chance they're doing anything. This is the racist part. Like all that stuff that has to do with you know, like Icon and Milestone and all that cool stuff. No, none of that. Static Shock. No, none of that's happening right now. Maybe at some point, but I don't know. All that's dead. So, yeah, you can expect Pop's crossover. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong one. Pop's crossover with Pop Culture Minefield. I'd love to be with those guys. I love Gary's work. I love Keith. I love it. I watch stuff like this all the time. I just, you know, again, scheduling is a bigger issue than anything else. So that is too bad because I liked Black Canary and Green Arrow. I don't think they ever had Green Arrow and Black Canary as the project. They only talked about her. They didn't talk about him. You're absolutely right. And this is why I love the beginning of Arrow, except for the flashbacks to the island, because I thought they were really going to develop something that was really good. And there were parts of Arrow that work, but as a whole, they just kept adding. And every time they kept adding more to the general structure of that show, it just kept weighting it down and weighting it down and weighting it down, being too, it just sort of like the weight of it just kind of folded it in on itself. Like it just kind of collapsed. And then once you added like the sexuality stuff to it, and all, it just adds. I didn't last that long, but season 1 was fine. Should the WB sue J.J. Abrams for not creating any content? I don't, trust me, read between the lines, that is exactly what that press meant when it talked about contracts or something. Let me get that exact quote for you. Contract termination. Here we go. This is from these documents. So the /film broke this information. It was reported by Bounty into Comics. I didn't see it till about an hour ago. And it says at the end of their thing, it's talking about as part of its plan to achieve significant cost synergies, which is cost control, cost reduction. This is for Q3. The company finalized the framework supporting its ongoing restructuring and transformation initiatives. These are just fancy words for saving money. Strategic content programming assessments, which means every project is on the table. There's cost analysis, return on investment analysis. Actually, all that's been going on. It's just now they're all on the plate. Organization restructuring means how do we get out of rent? How do we close facilities? Organization restructuring and facility consolidation activities. This is why you saw a lot of Discovery people that survived and why a lot of W people left when it came to like the marketing and advertising people. You have massive overlap with those type of things. You don't need duplication. You don't need Salesforce and some of that on the scale that they would have had. So a lot of that, expect more of that. And then contract termination costs. There you go. The very last part of that quote. Byford, that's it. Contract termination costs. How much does it cost me to get out of my deal with him? Now, the problem is he's been around for a while. He's got good attorneys and agents. He's a big name. It may be expensive, but is he worth it? Because at some point, is someone smart enough to be talking to Zaslav? Well, listen, they're fooling you. They're lying to you. This dude is not delivered. He's not. Sure, Star Wars made $1 billion, but did he make $1 billion? Or did he just ride the coattails of everyone else's stuff? You know, because Star Trek, then Star Wars, look at all this. So I don't know. I hope they do. I hope that he gets thrown out as an example and let him go somewhere else. I don't know. Let him go make something on his own and prove that he can actually do it. So CW destroyed Arrow. I did not enjoy it after the first season. Yeah, it just kind of kept like scaling down for me. Like I enjoyed season 1, you know, season 2, season 3, and I think it was the third season. That's when and then it just went off the cliff. Something like the Flash. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was significantly less, and then the season 3, I was checking out time travel and stuff. And yeah, so you know, you get a couple of seasons. You get a few, and those seasons were pretty long. So I am not going to be as hard on them as maybe some other people might be, because those were like 20-something episode seasons. You know, now we get, you know, 10, 13s. You know, back then they were still doing like real TV content. So in some ways they were actually better creators and at least generating better storylines and subplots and stuff than they do now. So, but anyway, so that's my shtick. That's my catch you up on this news. I'm sure some folks are going to be talking about it. I didn't really have a way or thought of like how do I contrive a video out of it. I got to chat with you people. So many of you are already jumping on board and being part of things with me, which I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, Jedi Bill, that shouldn't be, and Wakazashi, right? Yeah, that shouldn't be. Jedi Bill, Wakazashi, Jedi Bill. Thank you again for that super chat. What a crazy stream, and you guys have made this amazing. I can't even. I'm just sort of speechless. I don't know what to say, man. Of course, Dean, Shield Wall Dragons, you guys have been chiming in here and comment. Bifer, always great to have you hanging out with me. Leia Rose, awesome one. So many great people that have just meant so much to me. Of course, Ryan was in here at the get-go, probably waiting for me. Like Ryan's a beast. He's a machine. Zach's, of course, give you that mod tag, man, helping me out. Of course, Zach does so much for everybody, man. He's just amazing. Cannoli Sasquatch, God, we got to connect with Cannoli Sasquatch. We got to get our schedules to. I should just hit the live, just throw the link out there, Cannoli, and have you come in here and rant and rave too with me about WB. So if you're down with that. So, yes. Oh, Paul, you getting ready for work. Okay. Let's see. It's 7:12. Yeah. It's our, you got to do your thing, man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, take it easy. Great time as usual, man. Thank you so much. So we're never going to see Babylon 5 reboot after this. No. That's totally on hold. I would think that most things we're going to see is content for Max, right? Because you can create a pretty decent 8, 10, 12 episode season with not expensive cost by having grounded, rooted, street level comic book content like Gotham was. But you start doing like sci-fi, something like Babylon 5, you need to scale that up. Like even, Halo is the cheap. So you got to be significantly better than that. You can't embarrass something that has a legacy like Babylon 5 because they can see the writing on the wall with some of these other franchises that are just ruining their brand by doing that. So, yeah, I think that's totally on the shelf. Definitely for the foreseeable future. So, Zach, there's never reason to apologize, man. You're always helping me out, man. I appreciate it. So, all right. The Tad that should not be. The tad that should not be. I probably need to write it down. So I'm going to write it down so I don't mess you up, man. Especially now that you're, a member. I got to try to at least be appropriate. So I know I'm that old that I'm writing things down. It is what it is. Can't apologize for what I am. So look at you, man. He's scheduling shows. He is the machine. Ryan is the machine. Let's just be honest. It's freaking amazing. Zach is our Canadian Indian. Hey, man. Canadian Indian. Yes. Yeah, I'm happy that they're not doing a beat. Yeah, I don't really want them to touch anything. I'd rather them just make something else. I don't want them to mess with old stuff. They have to have a lot better track record than Black Adam for me to start trusting major franchises and stuff to these people. I just don't. Awesome one. Ryan interviews Ryan. Oh man, that would be fun. I actually thought about doing like an impression of Ryan and doing the full on, but it takes a lot of work to do stuff like that. So. On B5, JMS probably wants them to cancel the project because this would finally free up the Babylon rights back to JMS. I don't know. I don't know how the rights work. I wouldn't give him his rights back. If I had bought the rights, I wouldn't give the rights back. As Zaslav or as the people in the room, it would just, whatever the contract says. If the contract says I have 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it says, I'm going to lock it up. Unless he wants to come up with a deal or figure something out. I don't have the money. But I'm also not going to let him just, because there's probably no write-off to that. That's probably a very low-cost impact to all of this. I don't think that's, unless there's a contract involved and he's been paid a bunch of money or promised a bunch of money, maybe. Did I get anything else? Because you guys say, hey, Pops, I write things down all the time. Hey, man. Hey, Jedi Bill, you'll appreciate this. The wife knows how crazy it all is. So we were at an Ollie's and she made me buy like the 5-ring bind, the big 5-section binder thing. So now all my little brainstorm scribbles get reorganized into something that I can read and organize later and have my thoughts. So it doesn't mean I actually have it all figured out. I just, you try to put some bumpers up to kind of help steer us old dogs. I don't know exactly how old you are, Bill. I'm sorry if I offend because I think we're at least of the same age. I'm not quite sure exactly how old. So he sold them in perpetuity to Warner back then. That's why there has been no B5 for decades on screen. He hates WB. Oh, well, I mean, it stinks. I mean, I can feel for the fans of Babylon 5 that want good stuff to carry on. And if he wants to try to be part of that, I understand that. So, I mean, I think there's a way to have a healthy conversation about it. Maybe there's a chance that they could release the rights to him for a small share of whatever he decides to do. That would be a fair compromise to me. I can say, listen, I own the rights. I can stop you from making new content. I need to save money and I need to make money. So how about this? I give you B5, you go shop it. You get it made and I get 15%. There you go. That would be a fair compromise for a situation like Babylon 5. He can go shop it. I don't know. The bad news is he'll probably get it made now, and you end up with some crappy situation over at Amazon, maybe Apple, but probably Amazon. So 797 or 797. I don't know what that means. Awesome one. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah, the Tad says owns B5 completely, but WB has all the TV and movie rights. Yeah. So, like I said, I can see them shelving that project. They don't have the cash right now. And Pops is forward to B5. So I think they'll shelve the project, but we could come up with a compromise to go, listen, you want to do this. We have all these cards. So here's what we'll do. And they can come up with a way. That's probably a very good deal for both parties. They can come up with a compromise. And maybe they even agree on some sort of package of you can shop it, we get a cut. Then we are going to do this re-release of the content that's already out there, like some new DVD type things and that kind of thing. And you just you give him a cut. Like you come up with like profit sharing, so everyone can win something. Now, these are corporations and lawyers and all that nonsense. I am not going to try to pretend that this will work or even happen. I can live in a fantasy land too. So, did you turn 50, Bill, this year? Well, congratulations, my friend. I'm a couple years older than you. So, congratulations, Bill. Happy birthday. I think now you say that, I think I do remember you had a birthday stream or something like that. I am a forerunner for B5. I am definitely a forerunner to B5. That's for sure. So, and I got into it again with another person who doesn't think I'm a Star Wars fan, even though I actually saw the original film in the theater 6 times. Yeah. Yeah. My dad even recently remembered taking me. That was when they were replaying when Jedi came out in '83. So they, all of them got re-released again or whatever. And I went, my dad took me again. So I remember seeing it again. That's actually not in my count of 6. That's actually later. My 6 are in the run of 77 and 78. That's what I count as my run. So Jerry Doyle is a hard one to recast. Garibaldi is iconic. Yeah, I don't know what you do with that kind of stuff, Dean. I mean, I think it's some of that kind of stuff. I would think that you would want to approach Babylon 5 much in the way that they did the original TOS into theaters. Like, that was kind of the perfect model of how to move the original cast into that kind of stuff. So I don't know how much of that is possible or plausible or not. I really don't know. So let's see. I hear the WB is keeping good show on HBO Max and moving bad shows to Pluto, Tubi, and Freevee. Customers win. Oh, no, I did not. I don't. Well, I don't know. Like, again, how does the money move? These are people that need money really, really bad right now. So if you're bleeding, again, the story, right? The story is they are losing $3.4 billion a quarter. They're asking the SEC to write down more money. So that means they're going to be losing more because, they're going to write off more losses. And this is, again, stuff they may already have spent, or how to get out of contracts, how to get out of leases, how to consolidate people. So there's going to be, golden parachutes and all the nonsense, right? So let's say Pluto, TV, or Freevee offer X amount of dollars for catalog items that really no one on your platform is going to care too much about. And I got to be honest, I don't think it hurt Jaws. Like, Jaws was just on Tubi, right? And I think right now, Silence of the Lambs and Unforgiven are on Tubi. We were talking about some of the good movies that are on there. I had it pulled open on my phone today, and I was going to pull it open again because Ironcaster only likes to point out some of the fluff that's on there, but there actually are really good shows and stuff on here too. It's not going to hurt them. Like, if you want to watch Jaws, you're just going to find it wherever you can find it. But the fact that it's on there, it helps Tubi. And if that gets them a few dollars, yeah, they still have like the Nightmare films are on here. John Wick is on here. Wow. The original John Wick is on Tubi right now for free, guys. Actually, all 3 of them are on there. Well, if you don't own John Wick or you have never watched it or want to give it a roll, there's a good chance. Bride of Frankenstein, which is freaking one of the best. That's a goat right there. Bride of Frankenstein is. Yeah, a few dollars more. Oh my gosh. Magnificent Seven, Escape from New York. Man, Tubi, we could do like a top 10. They Live is on here. I might watch They Live. I think I own They Live. I'm sure I own They Live. Yeah, we could do like a top 20 great films that are on Tubi. But if you own the Max library, the HBO library, WB stuff, and you have, let's say, 30 of these films that are sort of like Midland to bad, send them over there. Make a few bucks. Why not? So, no, man, the bots love me. The bots love me. They need my eyes. They want me. 69 mega is after me, like stalking me. Look at that. You got smiley face and kissy faces and all sorts of stuff. I mean, I try to tell them, 23 marriage to the first, 23 years to the first lady just doesn't turn them away. They just keep coming back. They just want a piece of pops. So I like you. That's good, man. That's good. Ryan is 42. Yeah, Ryan is 42 and a 23-year-old body, at least. Okay, so what does this mean? So Hell Awesome is 797 for personal reasons. Okay. In wisdom years. Okay, I was 10 when I saw Star Wars. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. I was 6 when it came out, quickly turned 7. So I saw it once when I was probably 6. I turned 7 in July. So I don't know the timeline of when I saw which ones. I probably saw it once or twice at 6, and then the others were at 7. So Star Wars is indeed dead. R.I.P. R.I.P. It is so. Gray, you should see the comment on a couple of my Andor reviews where people are trying to still defend this show as like being like people are enjoying the tension or they're trying to enjoy characters. I'm like, what show are you watching? Because what is good about the show, they constantly cut away from and do something else that's terrible. Like the prison stuff that has been introduced showcases how evil the Empire is. You're cheering for the title character. You're cheering for Cassian. And episode 8 is cruising along. And then all of a sudden, full stop. The lesbians have to talk. We have to have Soy Boy talk to Girl Boss. They got to go to the planet. And that's where we end up with the comfy chair. Which, by the way, if you don't know about the comfy chair, I got a video on that too. So, yeah. R.I.P. Star Wars. 7 is perfect. Yeah. More bots. Did I get them all? More bots? No, they still. See, Zach's got them that time. Good job, Zach. Wait a minute. Let me see. I think we're caught up on bots too. I'm not watching anything. You guys are here. I think I think they know a hot stream when they see it. So, you guys, you can't trust the numbers, right? If that thing says there's 10, 12, 15 people in here, which is pretty much what it's been telling me, it's always more than that. It's insane. Like there's just. These numbers are nuts. I was in a stream the other day, may have been last night, and it said there were 2 or 3 people in there, whatever it was. There was a very low number, right? And I'm in there, and I start commenting too. Now there's more people commenting that it says are in there. And that's in addition to the person running the stream, who I assume is in there. Like you want to log into your own stream so that you're at least able to, monitor it a little bit. So yeah, that none of the data is worth hanging your hat on. So don't get caught up with that. Let's see. Hey, Jacob Ironside, my friend. Oh, Jacob's got such a great channel. Think he's been cruising along. He's got a few subs rolled his way, get some milestones. I did a great stream with him, man. We had a great time hanging out. We talked about Jaws, which is top 10 for me. Top 10. It's a GOAT. By the way, I was asked about that. You guys do know when I say GOAT, I mean greatest of all time. Like I got asked, why do I keep saying GOAT or what is GOAT? Yeah. I say things as though everyone understands my lexicon. Everyone understands the words I use. And Bill, Zach's, Dean, we're all in the same pocket of so many years apart. So we probably talk with similar language. But we have to understand we have these young buds out there like Ryan who may have no idea what we're talking about sometimes. So they just have to speak up. Gray, I know Gray would know. I'm talking about. So yeah, Jaws is. So anyway, if you haven't been at Jacob's Ironside, go check out his channel, man. It's freaking great. So. Ryan, you do have stalkers and you know it. I've been in your chat. Yeah, not true. People love you, man. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, tons. That stuff just keeps coming back. Yeah, I know. Awesome one's like, listen, he's married, man. Get off of him. Yeah, I know. I've tell my wife, remind her. I said, yeah, the bots are after me. Yeah, she'll tease me anyway. So let's see. Is what he's been watching. Not me, bro. It's you guys. It's hanging out with you guys. They know we're good. So and yes, Andor is so dull. Andor is not terrible. It's like we're on episode 9. We should be on episode 5. That's the best way. I don't have the time, energy. There's no benefit to it because you can't do anything with it. It's one of those. If I had the ability to do fan edit, I'd take them down and we would trim them down and we would actually make something that's good. But again, why am I watching a 6-hour movie and not watching actual TV? That's the problem. It's crap. To my credit, I can't remember if I saw the last 2 Star Wars movies. Yeah, you didn't miss much, Dean. They have not aged well. I've said it many times, talked about my initial response and how I feel now, and it just keeps getting worse. Channel suppression is real. So many things. Oh, this is a new one. Ooh, I got a new bot. Look at that one. That's a different one. I haven't seen that one before. So they're trying up new ladies now. They're trying new bots. I haven't seen that one. So I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if you guys saw that one or if Zach's got it. It says like my hot photo here. It looks just like a regular person though. I mean, I've seen a lot of users that say that in the title. So I mean, and I'm going to blame Das Wolfen because he came up in here right after the sex bots came in here. So Das Wolfen let all the sex bots in when he came in. That's what happened. So it's Das. So yeah, everybody's saying hi to him. You really must hate yourself if you're thinking of watching Birds of Prey, The Emancipation of Harley Quinn. No, I did not watch it. No. I did not watch that nonsense. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So for those of you who don't know the story that Bifer is referring to, I don't know if you're referring to this because of this, but I had been on a stream. Ryan was there. We tried to watch some of this breaking news about this Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy show and some of this nonsense. And there's F-bombs in the trailer. There's sex in the trailer. Like, it was so graphic. There's like a toilet joke. Like, it was so awful and bad. I couldn't believe it. I had someone send me a message and said, listen, no, give season 1 a try. It's not that bad. I could not make 5 minutes. It was profane, graphic. These are not the characters in the comic book. I'm sorry. I know people want to turn them into sluts. They want to turn them into lesbians. They're turned on by that stuff. They have serious issues with themselves if that's what they need to get in their entertainment to get them to watch it. I don't need to have that in these characters. That's not why I enjoy them or think they're great characters. And the people that are making this stuff, because I assume that is nothing more than the exploitation of those characters. And that's all I treat them as. So birds of they. You're being kind. You're being kind. It's freaking garbage. And Jacob, you deserve every bit of it. Our stream and our time together was freaking fantastic. I had a great time. And the only thing I can apologize for, bro, is I probably wasn't on my game all the time because it was late for me. But it was Jaws. So, bro, Jaws is one of the best. So, oh my gosh, I caught up again. You guys gonna let me out? Let me take a break. I'm gonna be on with Megan Lee in a little bit, so we'll be back. So go on over to Noob Reviews. Go over to Megan Lee's channel. Birds of Scissorine. Oh, that's freaking great. We'll do talking comic books. We'll be talking about the meetup. We're talking about all that kind of stuff. Tuesday we're doing Talk Hard. So that'll be kind of fun. We'll be talking about ourselves a lot on Talk Hard. So boy, if you guys don't get enough of that already, we're talking about like Thanksgiving and Christmas and traditions and things we watch, do, and things like that. So that'll be what our Talk Hard is going to be on Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be our member stream. It'll start at 5. So if you're a member, you want to consider being a member, you can join us for that. And if you're one of the higher tier members, there'll be a spot for you first and foremost. So you will be RSVP to slot. So you can join us in that stream and be part of it on screen. And then Princess Leia Rose will be with me at 6 p.m. on Thursday. So that's where we're rocking and rolling. Dean Krantz, yeah, it is terrible. I'm going to do a watch through or something with that so you guys can really, I need to find people that really don't mind doing like EFAP with me where we can do something like that. We can literally set aside like 3 to 4 hours to do something, because if we're going to destroy it, I think we really need to really go in, not with like, high level stuff or even a scalpel. We need to bring a chainsaw and just level it for how bad it really, really is. And I need a lot of time to do that because I'm not going to last more than a few minutes before I'm going to pause it again and rant and rave because it is that bad, Dean. So, like a Jedi Bill, supporting the network. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Jacob's stuff, Jacob's up and comer. He's new as a content creator, but he's been very active in this community, fellowship, alliance, however you want to call it. Smart dude, loves his fandom, very passionate. Reached out to me. We were able to get our schedules linked up. Love it. Bill, I hope you'll find something that you enjoy. I know I have. So, all right, man. Listen, Grant's going to be hopping in on with Ryan, I think. So that's freaking great. So make sure you check that out. And let's see. Yes. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Jacob says thanks back to Bill. So with that, again, thank you to all of you new members. You mean the world to me. I can't believe all this is happening. It's been great. Great. I'm looking forward to the next video. I'm actually getting ready to record. I'm going to try to record another video. I'm going to record. I have to see. Tomorrow is my. Are you ready? Sharks of the Corn. I didn't want to change the thumbnail, guys. I don't want to do any more work for that movie. It's really going to be a popspective. It's not really going to be a review because it's not very long. That breaks tomorrow at 10:15. Saturday will be my first good read, must read, don't read comic book video on Wolverine. So I could give you a good read, a must read, and a don't read for Wolverine. After this, between now and Megan, I'm going to do one of those on Punisher. So I will have that come out probably Sunday or Monday. I don't have a set. I got to look at the schedule of some of the stuff I've already got done, and we'll hammer that out and get that out there for you guys as well. So, but no, thanks for everything, guys. So this is a different thank you. It's more of a thank you to all of you that have joined as members. Thank you again, Bill, for that super chat. Also, just to make you smile, make sure you laugh. And remember, this is only one piece of a 1.5-minute segment because I didn't know where the copyright rules would be. This is legit from a school board meeting. This actually happened. Enjoy your time, my friends. Hopefully you can join us again later on tonight over at Megan's channel, Noob Reviews, and I can see you there to talk some comic book nerd stuff. You guys take care. Thanks again for everything, folks, and thanks for letting me do this with you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thomas. We do appreciate you. Phil McCracken, Ophelia McHawk, Eileen Dover, Wayne Kerr,